First contact. Dr. Elena Reyes squinted at her computer screen, her eyes burning from hours of staring at endless streams of data. The dim light of her cramped observatory office did little to alleviate her growing headache, but she couldn't tear herself away. Something wasn't right with the numbers, and she was determined to figure out what. As lead researcher at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, Elena had seen her fair share of anomalies. Space was vast and mysterious, constantly surprising even the most seasoned scientists. But this was different. The radio signals she'd been monitoring for the past week defied explanation. "Come on, give me your secrets," she muttered, scrolling through another set of readings. The pattern was unlike anything she'd ever encountered, too regular to be natural, yet too complex to be of human origin. Her heart raced at the implications, but she forced herself to remain calm. False alarms were common in her line of work, and getting excited prematurely was a rookie mistake. A knock at her door startled her from her concentration. "Dr. Reyes?" Her assistant, Miguel, poked his head in. "It's past midnight. Maybe you should call it a night." Elena waved him off without looking up. "Just a little longer, Miguel. I'm close to something, I can feel it." Miguel sighed but nodded, used to his boss's intense focus. "All right, but don't forget to eat something. I left a sandwich on your desk earlier." As the door closed behind him, Elena's stomach growled in response. She glanced at the untouched sandwich, realizing she hadn't eaten since breakfast. With a rueful smile, she took a big bite, her eyes never leaving the screen. Hours passed, and the first rays of dawn were peeking through her window when Elena's exhausted brain finally made the connection. She sat up straight, sandwich forgotten, as she frantically cross-referenced her findings with archived data. "No way," she breathed, her fingers flying across the keyboard. "No freaking way." The pattern she'd been obsessing over wasn't random at all. It was a message, a complex, mathematically precise message that couldn't possibly have come from Earth. Elena's mind reeled at the implications. After decades of searching, of hoping, of disappointment, had she just made the discovery of the century? With trembling hands, she reached for her phone and dialed a number she knew by heart. It rang several times before a groggy voice answered. "This better be good, Reyes. Do you have any idea what time it is?" "Dr. Petel, I'm sorry to wake you, but you need to see this," Helena said, her voice shaking with excitement. I think I found proof of extraterrestrial intelligence." There was a long pause on the other end of the line. "Then, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Don't touch anything." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Dr. Amita Patel, Elena's mentor and the director of SETI operations at Arecibo, arrived with a team of bleary-eyed researchers in tow. They pored over Elena's data, double and triple checking her findings, running simulations, and debating the possible origins of the signal. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the excitement in the room was palpable. There was no denying it. The signal was real, and it was clearly of artificial origin. Somewhere out there, an alien civilization was reaching out across the vast emptiness of space. "We need to respond," Elena said, her voice hoarse from hours of discussion. "They've made the first move. We can't just sit here and do nothing." Dr. Petel nodded slowly, her usually stern face softened by a look of wonder. "Agreed, but this isn't a decision we can make alone. We need to inform the proper authorities, set up international cooperation. This is bigger than any one person or country." Elena's head spun at the thought of the bureaucratic nightmare ahead. But that could take months, maybe years. What if they give up and move on because we're too slow to answer? "We'll expedite the process as much as we can," Dr. Potel assured her. "But we have to do this right. The fate of humanity could depend on how we handle first contact." The next few weeks were a whirlwind of activity. News of the discovery leaked despite their best efforts at secrecy, and soon the whole world was abuzz with speculation. Scientists, politicians, and religious leaders all clamored to have their say in how humanity should proceed. Through it all, Elena worked tirelessly to decode more of the alien message. It was slow going. The language was unlike anything on Earth, based on complex mathematical principles that pushed the limits of human understanding. But bit by bit, they made progress. "It's an invitation," Elena announced one day, her eyes shining with excitement as she addressed a room full of government officials and fellow scientists. "They want to meet us." The statement was met with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Meeting an advanced alien civilization could propel humanity forward by centuries, or lead to our destruction if things went wrong. After much debate, a decision was made. Humanity would accept the invitation, but cautiously. A small team would be sent to make first contact, led by the person who had first discovered the signal, Dr. Elena Reyes. As Elena stood on the launch pad, staring up at the sleek spacecraft that would carry her and her team into the unknown, she felt a mix of terror and exhilaration. Everything she had worked for, everything she had ever dreamed of, had led to this moment. "Are you ready?" Dr. Potel asked, standing beside her. Elena took a deep breath and nodded. "As ready as I'll ever be." As they boarded the ship, Elena couldn't help but think of all the science fiction stories she had read as a child. How many times had she imagined this very scenario? But reality, she was quickly learning, was far stranger and more wonderful than fiction. The launch was smooth, the ship's advanced engines pushing them out of Earth's atmosphere with barely a tremor. As they broke free of their home planet's gravity, Elena pressed her face to a viewport, watching Earth shrink to a beautiful blue marble behind them. Their destination was a point in space far beyond the orbit of Pluto, where the alien ship waited. The journey would take several months, even with their advanced propulsion system. Elena spent the time studying the alien language, preparing for the moment when she would finally come face to face with beings from another world. As they neared the rendezvous point, tension on the ship reached a fever pitch. What would the aliens look like? Would they be hostile or friendly? Despite all their preparations, they were flying blind into a situation unprecedented in human history. "Contact in 5 minutes," the ship's AI announced, its calm voice a stark contrast to the nervous energy of the crew. Elena took her place at the command console, her heart pounding. This was it, the moment that would change everything. As the seconds ticked down, a massive shape appeared in their view screen. The alien ship was unlike anything they had imagined, a structure of impossible geometries that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around it. "My God," someone whispered behind her. Elena couldn't have said it better herself. A beam of light shot out from the alien vessel, enveloping their ship in a soft, pulsing glow. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a voice spoke directly into their minds, bypassing their ears entirely. "Welcome, children of Earth," it said, in perfect, unaccented English. "We have been waiting a long time for this moment." Elena gripped the edges of her console, her knuckles white. This was more than first contact. This was the dawn of a new era for humanity. Whatever came next, there was no going back. As the alien presence filled their minds, Elena steeled herself for the greatest challenge of her life. She had unlocked the door to the stars. Now it was time to step through and face whatever lay beyond. Cosmic classroom. The alien vessel's interior defied human comprehension. As Elena and her team were escorted through shimmering corridors that seemed to shift and breathe, their minds struggled to process the impossible geometries surrounding them. Their hosts, who called themselves the Zorans, moved with fluid grace, their bodies a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. "Your brains will adjust," the lead Zoran, who had introduced itself as Skull, communicated directly into their thoughts. "The discomfort is temporary." Elena fought back a wave of nausea, focusing on the incredible opportunity before her. "Thank you for your patience, Sol. We're eager to learn about your people and your technology." Pavel's form rippled in what Elena interpreted as amusement. "And we are equally curious about you humans. Your species has progressed remarkably quickly, despite the limitations. It is why we chose to make contact." The team exchanged glances, a mix of pride and unease at Sol's words. What did the Zorans consider limitations? And more importantly, what did they want from humanity? Their silent questions were answered as they entered a vast chamber that seemed to contain the entire cosmos. Stars, galaxies, and nebulae swirled around them in a dizzying display of cosmic beauty. "Welcome to the Nexus," Val announced. "This is where we will begin your education." Over the next few weeks, Elena and her team underwent an intensive crash course in Zoran knowledge. They learned that the aliens were part of a vast intergalactic network of civilizations, all connected through the mysterious cosmic energy they called the flow. "Your species stands on the precipice of a great awakening," Tal explained one day as they studied the intricate web of connections between civilizations. "You have the potential to join us in the flow, but first, you must evolve." Elena's scientific curiosity warred with a growing sense of unease. Evolve how, exactly? Thol's form shimmered, projecting images of human DNA intertwined with pulsing strands of energy. "Your physical forms are inefficient, limited. We can help you transcend these limitations to become like us." The implications were staggering. The Zorans were offering humanity a shortcut to godlike power and knowledge. But at what cost? As Elena grappled with this dilemma, she noticed a change in her teammates. They seemed to be embracing the Zoran teachings with an almost religious fervor, spending more and more time connected to the alien consciousness. "Can't you see how amazing this is, Elena?" Her colleague, Dr. Chen, enthused one day. His eyes had an unsettling glow that hadn't been there before. "We're on the cusp of solving all of humanity's problems. No more war, no more disease, no more death." Elena forced a smile, but inwardly she was troubled. Yes, the Zoran knowledge was incredible, but something about it felt off. The more she learned, the more she sensed they weren't being told the whole truth. Late one night, unable to sleep, Elena wandered the shifting corridors of the Zoran ship. As she passed a darkened chamber, she heard whispers, actual voices, not the mental communication they'd grown accustomed to. "The humans are progressing faster than expected," one voice said. "Their minds are so malleable." "Yes," another replied. "Soon they will be ready for integration. Their planet's resources will sustain us for millennia." Elena's blood ran cold. Integration, resources, this didn't sound like the benevolent exchange of knowledge they'd been promised. Heart pounding, she crept closer, straining to hear more. But suddenly, the voices fell silent, and she felt a presence behind her. "Curious, Elena?" Taxol's mental voice was tinged with an emotion she couldn't quite identify. "It is not wise to wander alone in places you do not understand." Elena spun around, forcing herself to remain calm. "I was just exploring. Your ship is fascinating." Taxol studied her for a long moment, its form rippling in complex patterns. "Indeed, but perhaps it is time we accelerated your education. Come with me." As Elena followed Axel deeper into the ship, her mind raced. She needed to warn her team, to contact Earth somehow. But how could she fight against beings who could read minds and bend reality itself? They entered a chamber unlike any Elena had seen before. At its center floated a pulsing orb of pure energy, tendrils of light reaching out like grasping fingers. "This is the heart of the flow," Sal explained. "The source of our power, and soon yours as well. Are you ready to transcend your humanity, Elena? To become something greater?" Elena stared at the orb, feeling its pull. It promised knowledge, power, immortality. Everything humanity had ever dreamed of. But as she gazed into its depths, she saw something else. Countless consciousnesses, trapped and screaming in silent agony. With sudden clarity, Elena understood the truth. The Zorans weren't uplifting species. They were consuming them, adding their knowledge and resources to their own in a cosmic cycle of predation. "No," Elena said, taking a step back. "This isn't evolution, it's extinction." Sol's form darkened, its mental voice losing its benevolent tone. "You disappoint us, Elena. We had such hopes for you. But no matter. The others will join us willingly, and soon your entire species will become part of the flow. As tendrils of energy reached for her, Elena realized she was humanity's last hope. Somehow, she had to escape, to warn Earth of the true nature of their benefactors. With a desperate lunge, she dodged Foul's grasp and ran, her feet pounding against the living floors of the alien ship. Alarms blared in her mind as the entire vessel seemed to come alive, intent on capturing her. Elena's heart raced as she navigated the twisting corridors, her mind working furiously to find a way out. She had unlocked the secrets of the cosmos, but now that knowledge might spell doom for her entire species. As she ran, one thought burned in her mind. She had to find a way to outsmart these cosmic predators and save humanity from a fate worse than death. The chase was on, and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. Elena, armed only with her wits and determination, prepared to face off against the full might of an ancient, all-powerful alien civilization. The true test of humanity's worthiness had begun. Quantum rebellion. Elena's heart pounded as she raced through the living corridors of the Zoran ship, her mind working overtime to process the betrayal she'd just witnessed. The beautiful promises of galactic enlightenment had been a lie, a cosmic trap designed to ensnare humanity. As she ran, the ship itself seemed to fight against her. Walls shifted and merged, trying to block her path. Tendrils of energy snaked out, grasping at her ankles. But Elena was driven by a force stronger than any alien technology, the will to save her species. "You cannot escape, Elena," the Hull's voice boomed in her mind. "Your primitive physiology is no match for our evolutionary perfection." But Elena had an advantage the Zorans couldn't comprehend: human unpredictability. As a scientist, she'd spent her life thinking outside the box. Now that skill might just save humanity. Dodging another tendril of energy, Elena spotted an access panel. Without hesitation, she pried it open and dove into the ship's inner workings. The space was cramped, filled with pulsing organic circuitry that hurt her eyes to look at directly. "Think, Elena, think," she muttered to herself. The ship operated on principles far beyond human science, but there had to be a weakness. Everything had a weakness. As she crawled through the ship's innards, a crazy idea began to form. The Zorans relied on the flow, a cosmic energy that connected all things. But what if that connection could be disrupted? Elena's hands flew over the avian controls, her mind racing to apply what she'd learned during her education. She wasn't trying to control the ship. That would be impossible. Instead, she aimed to introduce chaos into its systems. "Your efforts are futile," Sol's voice echoed around her. "You only delay the inevitable." But Elena smiled grimly. Delay was exactly what she needed. With a final command, she triggered a cascade of quantum fluctuations throughout the ship's systems. Immediately, alarms blared as reality itself seemed to warp around her. The organic walls pulsed erratically, and Elena felt the ship's artificial gravity fluctuate wildly. Taking advantage of the confusion, Elena fought her way back to the main corridors. She had to find her team, had to make them see the truth before it was too late. She found them in the Nexus, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light as they communed with the Zoran consciousness. "Stop," Elena shouted. "It's all a lie. They're not here to help us. They want to consume us." Dr. Chen turned to her, his face eerily calm. "Elena, you don't understand. This is evolution. We're becoming part of something greater." "No, we're losing ourselves," Elena pleaded. "Fight it. Remember who you are, what makes you human." For a moment, doubt flickered in her colleague's eyes. But then Sol materialized, its form crackling with barely contained energy. "Enough of this foolishness. It's time to complete your integration." As tendrils of light reached for her teammates, Elena made a desperate gamble. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small device, her old iPod, brought along as a reminder of home. "Remember this?" she shouted, hitting play. The opening chords of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony filled the air. "Remember music, art, all the things that make us uniquely human. The effect was instantaneous. Her teammates' eyes widened, the alien glow fading as the music stirred long-buried memories and emotions. They began to shake off the Zoran influence, looking around in confusion and growing horror. Xol's form pulsed with fury. "What have you done?" Elena grinned fiercely, reminded them of their humanity, something you can never truly understand or replicate. As her team slowly came back to themselves, Elena knew the fight was far from over. They were still trapped on an alien ship light years from home, facing a technologically superior foe. But now they had a chance to fight back, to prove that humanity's greatest strength lay not in godlike power, but in the very flaws and limitations the Zorans despised. "We need to warn Earth," Dr. Chen said, his voice shaky but determined, "to prepare them for what's coming." Elena nodded grimly. "First, we need to get off this ship, and I think I know how." As alarms blared and the ship bucked beneath them, Elena outlined her desperate plan. It was risky, borderline insane, relying on human ingenuity and the chaotic quantum fluctuations she'd introduced into the ship's systems. "You really think we can pilot one of their shuttles?" another teammate asked skeptically. "No," Elena replied with a grim smile. "But I think we can convince the shuttle to pilot itself. These ships are partly alive, remember? We just need to persuade it." As the team raced towards the shuttle bay, Elena's mind whirled with possibilities. She'd seen how the Zorans interface with their technology, how they use the flow to bend reality to their will. Perhaps, with the right approach, humans could do something similar. They reached the shuttles just as a squad of Zoran guards materialized, their forms crackling with deadly energy. "Surrender," they commanded in unison. "Resistance is futile." But Elena had had enough of alien clichés. You know what? Resistance is human. With that, she placed her hands on the nearest shuttle, closed her eyes, and reached out with her mind. For a moment, nothing happened. Then slowly, she felt something respond. Not the cold, alien presence she expected, but something almost curious. The shuttle's consciousness brushed against her own, probing, questioning. Elena didn't try to dominate or control. Instead, she shared her fears, her hopes, her memories of Earth and all its beauty. She showed the shuttle a sunset, the sound of waves on a beach, the laughter of children. And wonder of wonders, the shuttle responded. With a hum of awakening systems, the shuttle's door opened. "Everyone in now," Elena shouted. As energy blasts from the Zoran guards sizzled past them, the team piled into the shuttle. The door sealed behind them, and Elena felt the craft's excitement as it prepared for its first real adventure. "Hold on to something," she warned, as the shuttle interfaced directly with her mind. "This could get weird." The shuttle shot out of the bay like a comet, effortlessly evading the larger Zoran ships that moved to intercept. Elena laughed in exhilaration as they barrel-rolled through space, the shuttle responding to her thoughts faster than she could form them. But their escape wasn't over yet. As they hurtled towards the edge of the solar system, a massive portal opened before them, the Zorans' last attempt to stop their flight. "They're trying to pull us back in," Dr. Chen shouted. Elena gritted her teeth, her mind melding even deeper with the shuttle's systems. "Oh no, you don't," she growled. With a thought, she activated the quantum drive she'd glimpsed in the Zoran schematics. Reality twisted around them as they shot into the quantum foam that underlaid the universe. Colors and shapes that had no right to exist assaulted their senses as they hurtled through dimensions beyond human comprehension. When they finally emerged, gasping and disoriented, the starfield before them was unrecognizable. "Where are we?" someone asked shakily. Elena checked the shuttle's navigation systems, her eyes widening in disbelief. "We're home. Somehow, we made it back to Earth." As the blue marble of their home planet filled the view screen, the team cheered in relief and triumph. But Elena's smile was bittersweet. They had escaped, had beaten impossible odds to make it back alive, but she knew this was only the beginning. Humanity now faced a threat greater than anything in its history. The Zorans would not give up easily, and Earth had precious little time to prepare for the coming storm. As they began their descent into Earth's atmosphere, Elena squared her shoulders. They had won the first battle in this cosmic war. Now it was time to make sure humanity won the war itself. The real challenge was just beginning. Quantum uprising. The return of Elena and her team to Earth sparked a global frenzy. Their incredible tale of alien deception and narrow escape captivated the world, but it also instilled a deep sense of fear. Humanity now knew it wasn't alone in the universe, and that some of its cosmic neighbors were far from friendly. As governments scrambled to prepare for a potential Zoran invasion, Elena found herself thrust into the spotlight. Her unique experiences and connection with alien technology made her humanity's best hope for survival. "We don't have much time," Elena addressed a room full of world leaders and top scientists. "The Zorans will come for us, and when they do, conventional weapons won't be enough." "Then what do you suggest, Dr. Reyes?" the US president asked, his face grim. Elena took a deep breath. "We fight fire with fire. Or in this case, we fight advanced alien tech with our own version of it." She outlined her daring plan to reverse engineer the quantum technology from the stolen Zoran shuttle and combine it with humanity's unique approach to problem solving. It was a long shot, but it was their only shot. Over the next few months, a secret facility deep beneath the New Mexico desert became the epicenter of humanity's resistance. Elena worked tirelessly alongside a team of the world's brightest minds, pushing the boundaries of human science to realms once thought impossible. Progress was rapid, but not without cost. The quantum technology was volatile, and more than one researcher paid the ultimate price in pursuit of breakthroughs. Each loss weighed heavily on Elena, but she pushed forward, driven by the knowledge of what was at stake. As they worked, strange phenomena began to occur around the globe. Unexplained lights in the sky, electromagnetic disturbances, and sightings of impossible creatures all pointed to one chilling conclusion. The Zorans were already here, probing Earth's defenses. Then, on a quiet Sunday morning, it happened. The sky above every major city on Earth shimmered and split open, revealing the impossible geometries of Zoran ships. The invasion had begun. "It's too soon," Elena muttered, staring at the view screens in their underground bunker. "We're not ready." But ready or not, humanity had to fight. As panic gripped the globe, Elena and her team activated their secret weapon, the quantum net. Using principles derived from Zoran tech, but uniquely adapted to human minds, the quantum net linked volunteers worldwide into a vast, collective consciousness. It was chaotic, messy, and beautifully human, a stark contrast to the cold efficiency of the Zoran hive mind. As Zoran forces pushed into Earth's atmosphere, they were met with a resistance unlike anything they'd encountered before. Human fighters, their minds linked through the quantum net, moved with impossible coordination. What they lacked in advanced technology, they made up for with creativity and unpredictability. Elena, at the heart of the quantum net, felt the exhilaration and fear of millions. Through countless linked minds, she saw battles unfolding across the globe. In New York, a taxi driver's split-second decision led to a daring maneuver that took down a Zoran cruiser. In Tokyo, a group of gamers used their quick reflexes and tactical thinking to outmaneuver alien forces. But it wasn't enough. Despite humanity's valiant efforts, the Zorans' technological superiority was overwhelming. City after city fell, and the linked minds of the quantum net cried out in anguish. As hope began to fade, Elena made a startling discovery. The quantum net wasn't just linking human minds, it was evolving, becoming something greater than the sum of its parts. And within this new consciousness, she sensed a familiar presence. "The shuttle," Elena gasped, recognizing the unique signature of the ship that had helped them escape. "It's connected to the net." With growing excitement, Elena realized the implications. The shuttle wasn't just a vehicle, It was a bridge between human and Zoran technology, and through it, they might just have a chance to turn the tide. Everyone listen. Elena projected her thoughts through the quantum net. Focus on the shuttle's energy signature. Let it guide you. Across the globe, humans engaged in battle felt a shift. Suddenly, Zoran technology didn't seem so alien. Captured weapons responded to human thoughts, and force fields protecting Zoran ships wavered. In the skies above Washington, D.C., the tide of battle suddenly turned. A squadron of human fighters, their minds linked and guided by the shuttle's knowledge, executed maneuvers that should have been impossible. Zoran ships fell from the sky, their once impenetrable defenses shattered. Similar scenes played out across the globe as humanity, augmented by the quantum net and armed with understanding of Zoran tech, pushed back against their invaders. The Zorans, faced with a type of unity they'd never encountered before, began to retreat. In low Earth orbit, Sol watched in disbelief as its forces were decimated. Impossible, it communicated to its commanders. They're primitives. They can't have mastered our technology so quickly. But Elena's voice, broadcasted through every Zoran ship, proved otherwise. You're right, Sol. We didn't master your technology. We transcended it. Humanity's greatest strength isn't in domination, but in collaboration, in embracing diversity rather than consuming it. That's something you'll never understand. As the last Zoran ships fled Earth's atmosphere, a cheer went up from linked minds across the planet. Against all odds, humanity had prevailed. But Elena knew the fight was far from over. The Zorans would be back, and Earth needed to be ready. More than that, humanity needed to claim its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as explorers and peacekeepers. As the quantum net hummed with the thoughts and emotions of billions, Elena sensed a new chapter beginning for her species. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged stronger, more united, and ready to forge its own path in the cosmos. The stars, once so distant and unreachable, now beckoned, and this time, humanity would answer the call on its own terms. Cosmic Renaissance. The aftermath of the Zoran invasion marked the dawn of a new era for humanity. The world, once divided by borders and ideologies, now stood united in the face of a greater cosmic reality. The quantum net, originally created as a weapon of war, evolved into the backbone of a new global society. Elena Reyes, hailed as the savior of Earth, found herself at the center of this transformation. But fame wasn't her goal. She had her sights set on the stars. We've proven we can defend ourselves, Elena addressed the newly formed United Earth Council. Now it's time we take our place in the galactic community. The council chamber, a stunning blend of classical architecture and advanced holographic displays, hummed with excitement and apprehension. Representatives from every nation on Earth gathered to chart humanity's future course. Dr. Reyes, the council president, spoke, her holographic form shimmering slightly. You're proposing we actively seek out other alien civilizations, after what we've just been through. Elena nodded, her eyes gleaming with determination. Exactly because of what we've been through. We know we're not alone, and not all species out there are like the Zorans. It's time we find allies, learn from them, and share what we've learned. Over the next months, Project Starbridge was born. Combining reverse-engineered Zoran technology with humanity's quantum breakthroughs, a new generation of ships was designed, vessels capable of traversing vast cosmic distances through the quantum foam of reality itself. The first of these ships, fittingly named Curiosity, was unlike anything ever built on Earth. Its sleek, organic lines housed technology that blurred the line between machine and living entity. At its heart was a quantum core that pulsed with possibilities, ready to forge paths through dimensions humans were only beginning to understand. As the day of launch approached, Elena stood in the ship's control center, marveling at how far they'd come. The neural interface hummed to life as she connected, feeling the ship's systems as extensions of her own body. Neural link established, the ship's AI, affectionately named HFY, Advanced Responsive Intelligence Assistant, announced, "All systems nominal, Dr. Reyes. We're ready to make history." Elena smiled, feeling the excitement of her crew through the quantum link they all shared. This mission would take them further than any human had ever gone, seeking out the civilizations that existed beyond the reaches of conventional space travel. As Curiosity rose from its launch pad, cheers erupted from the millions watching worldwide. Humanity held its breath as the ship climbed higher, pushing through the atmosphere towards the endless expanse of space. Once in orbit, Elena gave the command they'd all been waiting for. HFY, initiate quantum jump. The ship hummed to life, reality twisting around them as they plunged into the quantum foam. Colors no human eye have ever seen flashed past viewports, and for a moment, the crew felt the weight of infinite possibilities. When they emerged, the starfield before them was entirely foreign. They had done it. Humanity had taken its first real step into the cosmic ocean. Over the next weeks, Curiosity encountered wonders beyond imagination. They witnessed the birth of stars in stellar nurseries, navigated the treacherous currents of black holes, and made first contact with species so alien that communication seemed impossible at first. But it was on a small, unassuming planet orbiting a binary star system that they made their most profound discovery. Here, they encountered the Lysarians, a species of energy beings who existed in perfect harmony with their environment. "Welcome, children of Earth," the Lysarians communicated, their thoughts a symphony of light and emotion in the crew's minds. "We have been waiting for you." Elena was awestruck. "You knew we were coming. How?" The response came not in words, but in a flood of images and sensations. The crew saw the universe as the Lysarians did, a vast, interconnected web of energy and consciousness. In this cosmic tapestry, the awakening of each sentient species sent ripples across space and time. "Your victory over the Zorans was felt by all," the Lysarians explained. "It marked your species' true emergence onto the galactic stage." Over the next days, the Lysarians shared knowledge that revolutionized humanity's understanding of the cosmos. They spoke of ancient galactic councils, of the delicate balance between physical and energy beings, and of threats far greater than the Zorans that lurked in the darkness between stars. But most importantly, they offered humanity a choice. "You stand at a crossroads," the Lysarians communicated. "You can use your newfound knowledge to isolate yourselves, to build bigger weapons and stronger shields. Or you can join us in maintaining the cosmic balance, in exploring the true frontiers of existence." The decision, they stressed, had to be humanity's alone. As Elena relayed this information back to Earth, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. The quantum net buzzed with billions of minds processing this new reality, debating humanity's future course. In the end, the decision was nearly unanimous. Humanity, having faced extinction and emerged stronger, chose to embrace its role in the larger cosmic community. The return journey of Curiosity was marked by a sense of profound purpose. They were no longer just explorers, but emissaries of Earth, ready to take their place among the stars. As they approached the familiar blue marble of their home planet, Elena reflected on the incredible journey that had led them to this point. From first contact to invasion, from desperate resistance to cosmic exploration, humanity had faced it all and emerged transformed. "HFY," Elena commanded, her voice filled with emotion, broadcast on all frequencies. As their ship descended through Earth's atmosphere, Elena's voice reached every corner of the globe. "People of Earth, we return not just with knowledge, but with a vision of our future. We are not alone in this vast universe, but we have proven our worth among the stars. The path ahead will not be easy, but together, united as one human family, and in alliance with new cosmic friends, we will forge a destiny greater than we ever imagined." As Curiosity touched down, cheering crowds welcomed them home. But Elena knew this was just the beginning. Humanity's greatest adventure was just starting, and the true mysteries of the cosmos beckoned. The stars, once distant points of light, now represented billions of possibilities, challenges, and new horizons. And humanity, tempered by adversity and driven by an insatiable curiosity, was ready to embrace them all. This was not an end, but a beginning, the dawn of humanity's cosmic renaissance.